Tip Unit 1 continued. Your paper should be set up like we always do, with a column for the term, the information or definition, and in the last column, of course, is your picture. So now that I have my paper set up, I'm going to begin with my first term, which is origin. The origin is the center of the coordinate plane and it falls at point 0, 0. A picture that illustrates this would be my y-axis and my x-axis, and it's that one single solitary point where the x-axis and the y-axis intersect. Drawing a line for my next term. My next term is going to be reflection. A reflection is creating a mirror image that is equal distance from the line of symmetry. A picture that represents this and there's my flag reflected over my line of symmetry. My next term is line of symmetry. Line of symmetry is the line that divides an object in half. It creates two congruent sides. And a picture that reflects that. Here is my line of symmetry down the middle of my diamond or kite, because now I have two congruent sides, one on the left and one on the right. Moving on to my next term. My next term is going to be rotation. Rotation is turning an object about a fixed point either you're going to turn it clockwise or counterclockwise. and we'll discuss the meaning of those in the next terms. A picture to reflect my rotation. If I'm on a coordinate plane, so here's my y-axis and here's my x-axis, and I start with my original figure, my pre-image, with point A here at the tip of my arrow. If I rotate it counterclockwise, that means that my arrow is now going to turn towards the left. If I turn it again or rotate it, it is now going to face down with my A double prime facing the bottom. And if I rotate it one more time, it is going to face towards the right with my triple A prime facing towards the right. And let me get in a little bit closer so you can see that. You can see that my arrow was rotated, turned with every rotation that I completed. My next term is going to be clockwise. And as the term suggests, we are talking about a clock. We are going to rotate or turn in the same direction as the hands on a clock would turn. So that means that we are turning an object to the right in the same direction that a hand on a clock would travel. So there's my clock. We start at 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., all the way around to 12, which means that we are going in a right motion. As the clock turns, that will be clockwise. Our next term is going to be counterclockwise. Counter meaning against or opposite. So again here, this simply means that we're going to go in the opposite direction that a clock would turn. So that means we're going to turn an object to the left, which is the opposite way that a clock will turn. So here's my clock once again. Here's 12, 3, 6, and 9, which means that in order to go in the opposite or counterclockwise, you are going to travel in the left direction. Moving on to our last term. Our last term for today, dealing with Unit 1, is going to be center of rotation. The center of rotation is that one fixed point. It's where you place your finger down in order to turn your paper, and it's the one point that is going to stay fixed. It's not going to move. So a center of rotation is that center point around that you turn an object. So here that means that I would place my finger down and then rotate. Where my finger is, that is my center of rotation. Okay, so now let's take a look at a picture. So let's say that I want to take my flag from earlier and I want to rotate it. Well, this point right here that did not move, that stayed stationary, is going to be my center of rotation. Please make sure that you have all of these terms in your notebook, the term, the information, and the picture. I will be checking these notes, so please make sure that they are clear and that you can study for your TIP quiz weekly.